Hi folks, my name is Casey. I use the pronoun she, her. I'm co-founder of Yoga Wild and welcome to your 6 p.m. slow flow. I'm so excited because we are back in our studio for filming and I've missed it. It's a little strange to be teaching to the camera and not to students, but whether you are joining live or watching on our live replay, I'm happy that you are carving out the time to practice. Know that you can say hello in the comments and even put in requests. I won't see it for this class, but we'll definitely try and cater and incorporate with the rest of the classes. So for tonight's class, we're doing a slow flow. Over the weekend, we had our kind of team meeting, and one of the teachers mentioned that they are starting to really feel the slowdown. Like at first, it was a lot of anxiety and prep and moving and preparing. But for them, they're just now starting to feel the slowdown. And that also means that they're starting to feel like all the feels. And I really connected with that because we're so used to going and doing kind of this roadrunner lifestyle that it can also distract or numb us from how we're actually feeling. So let's get started in a comfortable seat. Maybe you have blocks or towels or blankets, anything to support you so your spine is long. You can bring your hands to your legs and start to close your eyes or just a soft gaze down. And take a little time as you sit in stillness. Notice your slow breath and just start to pay attention. Throughout our class tonight, we will move through postures and transitions slowly. And that doesn't mean easy. It takes a lot of strength to sit with how you're feeling, a lot of strength to move slow through postures. And as you take a little more time here, start to ask yourself, or just check in, how are you feeling? Are you well? Are you happy? Are you okay? Do you need anything tonight from your practice? And just start to listen and observe. Notice what comes up. Feel free to stay here a little longer. And when you're ready, make your way to tabletop. So come to your hands and knees. Spread your 10 fingers wide and start to make some circles clockwise, sending your shoulders forward, out, and around. And even here, try to slow down your movement. If you're familiar with your yoga practice, especially these postures that you might do daily, really take your time to see how they feel tonight and go the other direction. Notice your breath. Notice if you start to hold your breath or it speeds up. Can you keep it long and slow? And then find stillness in tabletop. Your spine is long. Draw your navel up and in. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, lift the crown of your head and your tailbone up. Open your chest. Exhale, cat pose. Press through your palms as you round your back. Tuck your chin in tight to your chest. Inhale, cow pose. Slowly transition. Send your shoulder points wide. Exhale, cat pose. Press through your hands, round your upper back. And take a few more on your own. Again, try to transition through these postures that may or may not be familiar. And just notice how it feels. You could always add in a little extra movement, swaying your hips side to side. And then make your way to child's pose, balasana, when you're ready. Option to bring your knees wide toward the edges of your mat and then lower your forehead down. And maybe it comes to a block or your fists or maybe all the way down to the mat. Option to extend your fingertips forward. And really notice how your breath feels in this posture, in your body. Writer and activist Terry Tempest Williams said, "To slow down is to be taken into the soul of things." And see how that resonates with you. To slow down and pay attention to how you feel. Doesn't always have to be good or positive or happy, but can you just be aware? Slowly make your way to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips back, and maybe keep a little bend in your knees to begin. You could always sway your hips side to side, all the while pressing actively into your hands, maybe a little grip with your fingertips. Try to relax your head, yes or no. And this slow flow style of practice can be really great if you're a beginner, because we'll transition slowly. You have time to really fill on the postures. And if you are a seasoned practitioner, it can be a new challenge. Inhale, high plank, shift your weight forward. And maybe for this first time here, lower your knees to your mat. Take a little time and continue to breathe. Your spine is long, your neck is long. Really hug your belly up and in so you're active through your core. And then as slow as you can, start to transition. Send your chest forward and then lower down slowly. Bend your elbows straight back instead of coming out wide and land soft to the ground. Point your feet so your toenails press down into your mat. Your hands stay outside your ribs and then squeeze your elbows in. Inhale, lift your chest. As you lift your chest, option to hover your hands away from your mat. But again, try to stay long in your spine and your neck. Slowly lower down. Inhale, back up, plank, with or without your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll take that mini vinyasa, those postures, a couple more rounds, slow breath to slow movement. Inhale, high plank, shift forward, with or without your knees. Exhale, lower down all the way to your belly. Inhale, lift. Maybe cobra or even high cobra. You could find a little more height. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank, shift forward. Exhale, lower slow. Inhale, cobra, high cobra, or even upward facing dog. You can hover your thighs away from your mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, high plank, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly start to walk your hands to your feet. And we'll meet in ragdoll at the back of your mat. So for your first forward fold, your feet might have already been a little wider. You can keep that. You could box out your arms, add a little movement or sway. Nod your head yes. Just starting to feel a stretch through the backs of your legs. Try to avoid strain. They don't have to be perfectly straight here. Then keep a little bend in your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest and slowly roll up to stand. Think of pressing down through your heels, and it's like your hands and your head are heavy. The one vertebra at a time stack. And eventually we'll meet standing mountain pose at the back of your mat. So you could adjust your stance. It might be preferred to bring your feet closer together. I like a little space. Palms face forward and then draw your shoulder blades together so you feel nice and open in your chest. From here, keep all of that lengthened space. Press your palms together at your heart. Close your eyes or gaze to your fingertips. Set an intention for your practice. And an intention is important. It helps you to focus your mind when we get distracted or lost in thought. Maybe align with what you feel or what you need when you start to slow down. Maybe specific to tonight. And then take a big breath in and a big breath out. And we're going to take a slow, mindful walk to the top of your mat. So pay attention as you shift weight into your left foot. Peel your right heel, mid and toes off of your mat, and then start to step forward. And you might feel a little shaky as you take these slow steps. Notice when your back heel peels away. And you could take a little wider stance. You don't have to be on a balance beam. And eventually, you'll arrive at the top of your mat. Samasthiti equal standing pose. Inhale, reach your hands high, Urdhva Hastasana, and take your time. Really sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands could pass through center or open wide as you lower down. Inhale, halfway lift, pause here. So your hands could stay on blocks or they could come to your shins. Maybe stay connected to your mat, but think of flat back and really draw your belly up and in. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands high. Take up space, take your time. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll take that half Surya Namaskar 2 more rounds. Slow breath to slow movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach your hands high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Really press your palms together. Last one like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Come back to your intention for your practice. Just start to notice what it feels like to move slowly in your body. Maybe there's some resistance. You're used to going faster. Maybe this is all really new, and this is the pace you need, but just notice. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, lift your chest. Hands could come to your hips, your heart, or reach your fingertips high. Maybe try to keep your biceps by your ears as you point your thumbs up toward the ceiling. And notice if you're kind of gripping or clinging with your toes, feel heavy in your heels as you sink in. And hug your belly up and into your spine so your spine stays long. Keep your legs, hold here, and we're just gonna add a little movement with our arms. So inhale, exhale, airplane arms. Sweep your fingertips back, palms face down, draw your shoulder blades together, really reach back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, airplane arms. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, single leg Tadasana. Straighten your right leg. Lift your left knee as you reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. So again, you can kind of adjust your hands to help you balance. Always know that you could rest your left toes on the ground or even a block or stool for a little bit of support. Press in with your right heel, and it's okay if there's a little bend in your standing leg, but use your core strength to help find some balance and stability here. Flex your left toes back toward your shin. Inhale. Exhale, low flying crescent. As slow as you can. Airplane arms. Reach your left toes toward the back of your mat and land soft. Low flying crescent. So press in with your left big toe. Try to lift your left heel as far away from your mat as possible. Know that you can lower your left knee down at any time, and this is a great variation of the pose. Press in with your right heel. Check that your knee is tracking in line with your toes, and then draw your right hip back. Maybe even sink in a little deeper. We'll add a pulse with our arms. Inhale, high lunge. Lift your chest, stack your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, airplane arms, hinge forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Last one like that. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We'll come up to high lunge. We'll hold here for just a little bit longer. So again, feel your shoulders over your hips. I know your legs are probably on fire or working hard. Know that you can ground that back knee anytime. We're just here for 3. Maybe sink a little deeper. Forward fold in 2. 1. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot or to blocks and step your left foot up. That could be 1 big step or 2 or 3 smaller steps. Take a moment. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, airplane arms. Squeeze your upper back, strong and active. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, Utkatasana, maybe sink a little deeper. Exhale, airplane arms. This time, inhale, lift your right knee, single leg Tadasana. Pause here. Draw your navel up and in. You could reach your fingertips to the ceiling, or again, any other variation with your arms. And if you're feeling a little shaky in your standing leg, that's okay. I am too. And just give yourself permission to fall out and get back in, or to make any adjustments that you need to this posture. Inhale. Exhale, low flying crescent. Here's your slow transition. You can start to bend your standing leg as you reach your fingertips back. Point your right toes toward the back of your mat and land soft in your leaning lunge. So hips and shoulders are facing toward the top of your mat or the front of your space. Lift your right heel away so you're really active in your back leg, like you're taking off. And then feel the strength of your upper back and your low belly as you draw everything up and in. Inhale, high lunge, lift your chest. Exhale, airplane arms, hinge forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. This time, inhale, high lunge. We're going to hang out here for just a little bit. So please make any adjustments to your pose that you need, but try to stay in it, whatever it looks like. Can you maintain your long, slow breath? Even as it starts to get challenging or you start to feel heat or shaky or maybe fall out, get back in and breathe. We're here for 3. Forward fold in 2. 1. Bring your hands down. Step your right foot up. As many steps as it takes, we'll meet forward fold. And as you move and sway in your hips, feel the stretch to the backs of your legs. We'll flow through what we've done and we'll add on. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, airplane arms. Take your time to get there. Inhale, lift your left knee, single leg Tadasana. Exhale, low flying crescent. Inhale, high lunge. This time, exhale, warrior 2. Spiral your back foot flat, and then take a wide stance. Check that your right knee is tracking in line with your toes. And then really press through the back edge, the knife edge of your left foot. Hands can stay connected to your body or start to extend your fingertips out wide. And really see what it feels like in this pose to just get wider. So don't worry so much about depth or what your shape looks like. Set it up, feel stable, and then get just a little wider. Even in your breathing, expanding your side bodies. We'll add a pulse here. Think of pressing in with your right heel Inhale, reach your hands up. Squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg, active in your legs, maybe even gaze up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Virabhadrasana two. We're just here for a few more long, slow breaths. Settle in, find a drishti or gazing point over your right middle finger. And again, make any adjustments you need. Stay in it. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to your mat. Pick up your back heel and then step your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, single leg Tadasana. Lift your right knee. Exhale, low flying crescent. You have time to get there, however you transition. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. And then settle in. So as you take a nice wide stance in Virabhadrasana 2, feel your shoulders stay stacked over your hips. And you can even bring your hands to the bony point at the top of your hips and notice if that back hip is kind of popping up. That can happen. Try to stay nice and level as you sink in. As you think of getting nice and wide, your left inner thigh is spiraling or reaching toward the front of your space as your back inner thigh reaches to the back and then even energize through your fingertips. We'll add the pulse here. Inhale, straighten your front leg, squeeze, 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 reach up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, settle in. Virabhadrasana 2. Just notice as we're moving slowly, as we hold poses, you start to feel, maybe you're feeling shaking, maybe you're feeling discomfort. Is it such a bad thing? Can you stay with it? And if it's painful and you do need to make adjustments, please do. But just notice, what are you feeling? Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Frame your front foot. Step your right foot in. Take a moment, Uttanasana, forward fold. And forward folds can be grounding. They can be soothing. So try to just release into these postures when we have them. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, lift your left knee, single leg Tadasana. Exhale, low flying crescent. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Take your time, wide stance as you transition. Just one pulse. Inhale, straighten your front leg, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Hold your legs. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your right hand up toward the ceiling. Your left hand can come to your back thigh, your low back, maybe even reach for that front hip crease. Whatever is happening here, let your right side body really expand and lengthen. So we're not trying to crunch the low back. So if you're feeling it there, just open your chest more to the left and let this be a side bend. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm could come to your right thigh or the inside of your knee. Option even to place a block or fingertips can come down to the ground. Left hand can stay on your hip. Really open your chest. Feel this twist in your upper back. And then maybe reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. You can sweep your left hand down and forward to the front of your space. But try to keep the connection with your right hand light. Okay, we're going to pulse those poses. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Just pause here a moment. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down. Step your back foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. How you doing? Doing good? Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, single leg Tadasana. Lift your right knee. Exhale, low flying crescent. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Take your time. Settle in here. Inhale, straighten just once. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lift your left hand up. And you can reach straight up to the ceiling, and that's a great place to be. If you would like, you can start to add that lean back. But again, keeping this a stretch in the side body as opposed to compression in your low back. So make adjustments as you need. Right hand can be light on your back leg or any other variation. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Bring your left forearm to your leg. And again, inside your knee. And with this option, you can add a little press. Yeah, and then meet that press with some resistance. So that can really fire up your inner thigh, your adductor muscles. Maybe you connect down to the ground or a block, but feel the twist in your chest. So don't let the ground be your goal, especially if you cave in. Stay nice and open and really press through the outer edge of your back foot so you're grounded there too. We'll add our pulse. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Pause, stay here. Exhale, forward fold. Take that transition slow. Pick up your back heel. Step your right foot up. Few breaths in forward fold. So we have one more wave in our Sun-B variation. We'll add on a little bit. And notice if those challenging spaces become a little less so with repetition. It's very possible they become more challenging. That's okay too. Just give yourself permission to do what you need this round. Come back to your intention. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, single leg Tadasana. Lift your left knee. This time, exhale, warrior three. Virabhadrasana 3. So you can pass through with airplane arms. Reach your fingertips back. Your left knee and toes point down to your mat. Know that you can bring your hands down to blocks or the ground and get really active in your lifted leg, like you're pressing something away behind you. Maybe a little bend in your standing leg. And take the variation that serves you. Option to stay here and breathe. Otherwise, you could add in a slow movement with your arms. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, high lunge, soft landing. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, bring your hands down, pick up your left heel, and this time lower your left knee to your mat. Feel free to take a little time here. You can move forward and back. You can always add a hamstring stretch, half splits. And we're gonna set up for a twist. So starting with your back knee grounded, start to bring your left tricep to the outside of your right thigh. And then as you press your palms together, really press your right hand down into your left to open your chest. And this is a great place to stay, or you can pick up your back knee and start to find a little bit more balanced challenge. Whatever your focus is for today, gaze can be down, out, or up to the ceiling. A few breaths here. And when we add the pulse with our arms, it's kind of giving ourselves something to do when we don't recognize that we're just holding something really challenging. And it can be a different challenge to just be in the pose, be in your body, be in your breath. We're here for 3, forward fold in 2, 1. Lower your hands down, step your left foot up. Take a moment, shake it out. Last side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, lift your right knee, single leg Tadasana. Exhale, warrior 3. So as you shift into your Virabhadrasana 3, maybe you feel a little bit more stable with hands on your hips as you bring your chest parallel to your mat. And again, you can find a chair, a wall, anything for support. Notice if your right knee and toes are opening toward the right. Not wrong, just a different posture. So try to stay level with your hips active through your back leg. Again, you can stay here or maybe add the arm pulse. Inhale, sweep forward. Exhale, airplane arms, strong back. Inhale, sweep forward. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, high lunge, soft landing. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front leg, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, hands to your mat. Pick up your back heel and then lower your right knee down. So again, it might feel nice just to kind of pulse and move. Maybe you add blocks to bring the ground up a little closer to you. Feel a stretch over the back of your leg. And then we'll set up for a twist. Bring your right tricep to your left thigh. Press your palms together. And as you activate that press, start to open your chest more to the left and breathe here. Maybe pick up your back knee. This might be really challenging. It is in my body right now, but can you come back to your breath? Can you come back to your intention? Can you make choices that are right for you right here? How do you feel? Are you okay? What do you need? We're here for 3. Forward fold Uttanasana in 2. 1, try not to collapse out. Move with intention, not momentum, just like we've done all class. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll take tree pose for a balancing posture before we make our way down to the mat. So come to balance on your right leg. Bend your left knee and open it. Place your left foot anywhere on the inseam of your right leg. So especially if your legs are a little exhausted, that was a lot of work. We asked a lot of our legs. You might feel a little less stable in Vrikshasana. So you could always bring your right hand to a wall or a chair, any support. Hips stay level. Long through your torso, open in your chest. Any variation with your arms. Come back to your breath. Your intention. When we are in our slow flow, we move with intention, not with momentum. We feel stuff, and that can be physical or mental or emotional. We feel stuff. Inhale. Exhale, slow, slow, slow. Lower your left foot down. Take a moment, feel that transition as you shift weight into your left foot. Vrikshasana tree pose, other side. Place your right foot anywhere along the inseam of your right leg. And it's recommended to avoid your knee. We don't want to press on your knee and encourage it sideways. So maybe above or below works better for you. And then really squeeze your right glute, open your right knee, hug your belly up and in. Find your tree pose here. Slow it down. Slow down your breath. Slow down your heart rate. Inhale. Exhale, lower your right foot down, maybe with a little more grace and ease. And then take a few breaths standing, hands at heart center. Back to your intention. Notice any shifts in your mood, in your energy, in your body. Just notice. Inhale, reach your hands high, stand tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And if you'd like to pass through a chaturanga or a cow cat or a child's pose, however you make your way, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Again, just noticing shifts in your body. We haven't been here since the beginning of our class. We've done a lot since then. What's going on now? What do you need in this variation? And we'll set up for half pigeon, and I'll present a couple of options. So option one, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. I like to kind of lower my left knee down and then slowly inch it back. And the idea is that you're working your right shin parallel to the top of your mat. And I live in a tight body, so my right shin is never going to be parallel, and that's okay. Just know that that's the action you're going for. Try to avoid collapsing onto your right hip. And you can always place a little blanket or support under your hip for some stabilization. Know that you could lower down at any time. Make this more of like a sleeping pigeon. And if that just doesn't work in your body today, that's fine. Come to your back for supine half pigeon. Right ankle comes to left thigh. Open your right knee, maybe even float your shin or hug everything in. So in all of our postures, we have lots of options. And maybe you're in the belly down variation. Pay attention to where your body connects to the earth, where you feel your breath. If you're supine, if you're on your back, same thing. Pay attention to where you connect to the earth, where you feel your breath. And if you're on your back, take a few more breaths here before you switch legs. If you are in the belly down variation, as slow as you can, start to come back to your hands, lift your chest, maybe even crawl your left knee in. When you're ready, step back to downward facing dog. So maybe it feels good to just bend your knees, sway your hips side to side. Maybe you like to make some circles with your right leg. There isn't a wrong. And then we'll all take it on the other side. Bring your left knee behind your left wrist. If you're on your back, just switch legs. And if you're taking this variation of Ekapada Rajakapotasana, take it slow. So try to avoid just collapsing, especially if it's really familiar to you. Take a moment to let your hips kind of ease into it. Option to keep your back toes tucked under or point your toes. Just avoid a big sickle in your foot. So you could always come down to a pillow or some support. And breathe. How do you feel? Are you okay? What do you need now? And if you're on your back, you can take your time, but we'll all meet downward facing dog. And this is the final downward facing dog of our practice. So really care about it. Spread your fingers wide. And again, if you're starting to feel a little bit more open through the backs of your legs, maybe start to reach your heels down toward your mat. And it's okay if they don't touch, but still feel that action of grounding energy as you lengthen your spine and lift your tailbone up. Couple more slow breaths here. And slowly lower to your knees. And then go ahead and have a seat. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So it can be really nice to sit on a towel or blanket to just get a little bit of height. As you extend your feet forward, maybe your feet touch, you have a little bit of space, but take a moment to sit tall, Dandasana, so active in your belly, long through your spine. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And when you fold forward, you might connect with toes, ankles, shins. Maybe you just round your upper back, and this is what your forward fold looks like today, and that's a great place to be. Try not to force anything, but do notice that when we're holding these postures, these more restorative postures a little longer, do you notice when your body starts to kind of let go of resistance or tension? And maybe it wants some shifts. And then lift your chest slowly. Dig in with your heels. You can bend your knees if you like. Reach your fingertips forward, and as slow as you can, come all the way to your back. So draw your navel up and in, maybe even land one vertebra at a time. Once you come to your back, bend your knees, walk your heels in close to your seat, and you can offer a little sway side to side. I will cue a bridge flow or a flowing bridge, and we'll move slowly through this. So start with your knees bent, your heels close to your seat, hands by your hips. And try to avoid your feet touching. So a little bit of space, your heels are in line with your sit bones. And then dig in with your heels. Inhale, lift your hips up. And really notice the activation of the back line of your body. So really strong through your back leg, back line, to send your hips as high up to the ceiling as you can. And you might feel a big stretch in your hips. As you lift up and breathe, start to reach your fingertips up and behind you. So the backs of your palms might connect to the ground. Inhale, drive up. Exhale, slow, slow, slow. Lower all the way back down to start. And we'll pulse that. Inhale, lift up. Press in with your heels. Really strong in your legs. Exhale, lower back down. And if you want a little more challenge, you could keep your hips hovering away from your mat just a little bit. Inhale, so your legs stay active. They never really get a chance to release. Exhale. And take a few more breaths here. Try to keep your gaze up. And try to move just a little slower than might feel normal or comfortable. When you get to the top of your bridge pose, see if you can find just a little bit more height. And then slowly lower back down. Let your knees knock together. Bring your feet wide toward the edges of your mat. Hands can connect to your body or just rest out to the side. And breathe here. We'll set up for a spinal twist. So draw your right knee in and think more toward your armpit. Your left leg can stay bent or you can extend it long and active. Take a moment here. As you're ready, cross your right knee over your body and you have lots of options. So I kind of like to shimmy my left hip under my right so I can find a little bit more range of motion. You can extend your right arm out, maybe even turn your chin toward your right shoulder. Option even to stack your knees, but keep your shoulders grounded. So don't peel up your right arm to ground your right knee. That's not the priority. Keep your shoulders grounded and just breathe and feel this twist. I like to bring my left hand to my belly. That really connects me or anchors me to my breath. And then slowly bring your right knee back up. Take a moment, give it a squeeze in, and then switch sides. And you can use your bicep strength to bring your knee up and toward your left armpit. Maybe lengthen and active through your right leg. As you're ready, find your spinal twist on this side. So again, you can kind of shimmy and adjust your hips. Maybe stack your knees. Notice when we slow down or there's more stillness, less like mind activity, having to focus to balance or to transition. Notice where your thoughts go. And really try to bring them back here as you draw your left knee up and in. And then bring your right leg up. You can give your legs a hug. Maybe bring your forehead to your knees, get tight like a ball, inhale. Exhale, release. Shavasana, our final resting pose, our final meditation. And I will hold space for 2 to 3 minutes in Shavasana. So I invite you, you've made it this far, to just try and stay committed to the very end of your practice. Really reap all of the benefit, the work that you put in here in this posture. So you can extend your legs long, maybe arms kind of open wide, or you could keep your knees bent and constructive rest, let your knees come together. Maybe even close your eyes. Come back to your breath. And just notice as you slow down, as you sit in stillness, any feelings or emotions that come up. And you don't have to get attached or carried away, but just notice what's there, what we're so used to avoiding or ignoring. How are you? Are you okay? What do you need right now? To slow down is to be taken into the soul of things. Slowly begin to notice your breath, your body. Add gentle movement in your fingers and toes, hands and wrists. Full body stretch, reach your hands overhead, point your feet, get long. And then slowly transition back to your comfortable seat. So maybe roll to your side body first. You could even come back to your intention. And give yourself time to arrive seated. Maybe that's in a chair or on a prop. I invite you to keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft and down. And once you arrive, sit tall, press your palms together at heart center. Remember, it's the choices you make that define who you are far more than your abilities. Thank you for choosing to practice your yoga. Lift your thumbs to your third eye, the center of your forehead. We will close with one final collective breath. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you all so much for joining, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I appreciate your time, especially if you made it all the way here to the end of class. Hopefully we didn't have any technical issues. Our first class back in the studio, we're really trying to get a hang on this whole video production thing, but please leave any comments or requests for poses or what you'd like to work on. And you can join me Thursday at 6 p.m. for our vinyasa practice. So we will be moving a little faster. And we'll be talking about yoga for physical and mental endurance. Thank you so much.